Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check brought to you by BB. A reminder, as always, that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets, guys. Happy Wednesday, officially hump day of the week, the middle, right? Our mid stretch of the week, quote unquote, before the weekend. But obviously, overnight we did have a good chunk of volatility within the crypto market once again as Bitcoin continued its slide. From I believe it's Monday highs of 64K. We even tagged, I think it was almost like $56,000 per Bitcoin. So I think this is officially the largest pullback that Bitcoin has had since it bottomed, or at the very least, it was the two largest down days that we've had in succession since basically FTX. So there is a lot of significance so far already to the dump that we have had. But welcome, guys. Welcome. We're going to talk about all of that and more. But before we cook that alpha, of course, you guys already know what I'm going to ask you. And you might not be feeling very generous given that the market is down. But of course, I'm going to ask it all the same. We would be very appreciative, of course, and love if you guys could hit that like button before we share that big, juicy alpha. I'm going to continue to reiterate that our growth has been, you guys are a huge part of that, right? Like if you've been here since October, you saw our channel go from like 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers up to 15 to 16 that it is now. And that is in no small part to you guys, the audience. So I'm going to continue to shout you guys out and appreciate you guys. Hopefully you return the favor and hit that like button for me, hit the like button for us. But let's talk about markets, guys. Let's get into the nitty gritty of things because Bitcoin is, trading much lower than it was at the start of the week. We have officially broken down from the range. Is it going to be a breakdown or is it going to be a deviation, right? I know that's something that we're going to be discussing on this show. Definitely some comparisons that I've already seen to 2017 to 2018 as far as that cycle goes. That would have implied a dip into the 50s and then a buyback, eventual buyback, right, that pushes us higher on Bitcoin. But realistically, there are still so many different scenarios that can play out. But of course, as always, guys, we're going to continue to break down all of them for you. I did notice, and it's something that we've talked about, right? Something that we've talked before, where you have majors, more specifically, right, Bitcoin versus ETH, and majors versus altcoins beginning to lead the downside. That's typically a sign that you're seeing, signs of forced selling, or at the very least, the only markets that are kind of left heavily levered at this point are going to be majors like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But equity markets, they're obviously they haven't seen quite the same relative downside as crypto so far. They are somewhat feigning weakness on the back of a QRA that I think a lot of people initially thought could be bullish, that hasn't quite been as bullish. I think, we were talking about the implications of QRA on Friday. So we're not totally surprised that the market has had a somewhat negative reaction to the QRA. But of course, we have Big Daddy Jerome coming later today as well. And of course, we're going to want to hear what he has to say. We're dumping into a macro event, and we usually see bounces, kind of follow that. Unless Powell gives the market something to be genuinely concerned about, something that actually surprises participants when they position. So far, that has not been the case in a very, very long time. So, yeah, we'll see what he has to say. But as always, I can't say that I think that it's going to matter too much what Jerome has to say. Unless we get some real surprises. But let's open up the floor, guys. I'd love to know what you guys are seeing in the market, how you're viewing this dump that we've had so far this morning. And obviously the continued volatility this week, given the backdrop of macro events, CZ sentencing. Shoot, why not just throw in an ETH ETF decision too?
Yes. You said dump? I haven't seen any. This is like a dump for ants, This is nothing, man. I've been in crypto for a while now. This isn't a dump, man. This is nothing. Everybody's so nervous. Not to act all hardened and calloused, but where is it, Where is this dump? This is just that this is after 7 straight green months for Bitcoin, we have a bloody April. The theme of this cycle so far has been front running everything. Every major, like, rotation has been front ran this cycle, from Bitcoin making an all-time high before a halving towards, I mean, meme coins performing well, which typically doesn't happen in the very beginning. Like, so many things have been front ran. Um, selling may go away. I think got front ran as well, and I think things look actually very, very healthy here. Um, I was on a different chart here. I mean, I posted this morning, on my Twitter account, and I mean, guys, I have a pretty high degree of confidence that the best is yet to come, barring some sort of really poor FOMC that's terrible for markets, or, really poor jobs data here in the US that comes out Thursday and Friday. Um, but just kind of speaking from a trader's perspective, like, I don't really think that traders are going to have the luxury of shorting a crypto nuke into FOMC. I just don't. I don't know when that's ever been like a really effective winning strategy, is like shorting ETH that's down 30% off of its local high, well in a high time frame uptrend, like a few hours before FOMC. I don't know. I mean, you could scalp, you could throw some scalps at it, whatever. Um, we've basically come into my shove spots on a lot of different altcoins. Not that I even have much left to shove. Like, I'm more or less deployed. I'm hanging out, I'm chilling. I've been in this for a while. Um, but this is a beautiful, beautiful structured, healthy uptrend that we are in. I think that a lot of people are way too early on this de-risking mindset. Um, Way too early, in my opinion. I think we have a lot of time before any serious de-risking. Uh, and again, I think that people have, as funny as it may seem, I truly believe that within that Wall Street cheat sheet, we're kind of in like the denial phase. I don't remember all the phases, right? But early on in a bull market, when people are basically like, they're still kind of denying that this is real, and you get your first real big constructive, high time frame correction in a bull market, which again is totally normal to see Bitcoin and ETH both down 20 to 35%, with your altcoins down 50 to 75 or 80%, even some of them. And people are kind of in denial, and they're still carrying that bear market trauma and fear with them, where they're like, this is gonna fail, and they're very emotional about it. And you know, I think we are seeing I think we're seeing the sort of the perfect storm here, and you're looking at this chart that I have. This time is no different. The timing is a little bit different, but the mechanics, the under the surface representation of these crypto assets that we're trading, it's very similar to last cycle. And furthermore, I could go back one more cycle and we could see even more similarities, but it's just a lot to fit on the chart. But we saw that deviation on Bitcoin dominance that we were looking for. We saw it. Okay. Could we go back up there? I won't rule anything out, but I think this is distribution on Bitcoin dominance. Okay. We saw it. It's right here. We were waiting for this. Even when we were down here in the mid 50s, we were like one more deviation, because what did we see last cycle? We saw others dominance dropping. We saw Bitcoin dominance really before mania began. We saw Bitcoin dominance put in one final exhaustive push up deviation of the previous high, and then months of straight down in a straight line. But that's not straight down in a straight line for US dollar prices of our digital assets or our unregistered securities. What that is Bitcoin ends up trending upwards, but altcoins trend up aggressively more. I mean, look at others on the right. This is basically your altcoin index. From this point right here, when Bitcoin dominance put in its final deviation, others dominance put in its low. From the low set here, others, which is basically your altcoin index, again, it's altcoins, it's all of crypto minus the top 10 by market cap, went up 1,200% in a very short period of time. Let's see how many days that took. It was just from this low, it was about a year, a little less than a year. And to the first top, it was actually from the first top, because it was a double top cycle kind of, 166 days. So less than half of a year. Others, which is your altcoin index, on average went up 10x. I mean, come on now. As Joe Biden says, come on, man. Come on. And I think that this is where we're at. I truly believe people are acting like, we're up here, and like others' dominance has just basically gone straight up in a straight line for, 6 months. And in my opinion, we're literally like right down here. We're at the very early phase of a bull market, like the very, very beginning phases of a crazy mania phase that's about to begin. Jack is I know that face, unbothered, moist, flourishing in his own lane. Literally, that's Jackus. That's his docs right there. Enjoy Jackus's face. That's his docs.
You wanted the face reveal, here it is. Happy, moisturized, flourishing in my own lane.
Bro, I need to know the context of that picture. Like, who is that guy?
We never
Who
know.
is he?
That's the meme. And sometimes you do not want to know. Like sometimes when you find and reveal something, it ruins it, right? Sometimes you do not want to know who that was. You just keep it a mystery and you keep it unbothered, moisturized, happy, flourishing in my own lane.
Well,
Anyways,
anyway,
man,
sorry, you go ahead, Jackus. I went on for a while.
no, it's all good. It's just that really that the BTC, like Bitcoin is breaking down or breaking down. It sounds like like we just had some crazy, capitulation event. But it broke the range lows today. That doesn't mean it doesn't close the day above them. With FOMC, that's very much possible. But what I mean is it swept the lows right today, right now. And in this type of scenario, alts would just die another 30-40%. Well, in reality, Bitcoin dominance is dropping and it dropped to a new weekly lows, and I think not many people are appreciating that enough. And I do think it's because most alts already dropped, earlier in April, about 14 days ago when we had that capitulation. So they did undergo this. It's now BTC doing this, and this is the final stage. You have maybe like a week before this dip ends, and what I'm like, what I'm right now trying to figure it out is not whether we go higher or higher, but whether whether like when Bitcoin starts going up again, if alts go harder than that. And I still think so.
I think so also. I was kind of tweeting as much. I kind of think the scenario for altcoins, though, the most bullish one is almost Bitcoin dropping one more time. Kind of seeing you get that full flush out on Bitcoin in a way that if it's going to go higher, it's more so going to do it in a fashion where whatever low you set along with all-time highs is your new established range, right? And within that range, you see altcoins catch that rotation from Bitcoin or out of Bitcoin whenever Bitcoin returns to range highs, right? Like you would expect altcoins to outperform Bitcoin, but obviously that would be a huge dip. So, Bitcoin could also range for a prolonged period of time near the all-time highs, which, I'd be open to. I mean, yeah, I think gold did the same thing, right?
Listen, guys, I came back from vacation, so I feel a little bit generous. But if we hit 200 likes today, I will share some alpha for you. You
Didn't you
guys
say
know
150
what it means?
yesterday?
It's 200 today.
You said you're feeling generous and then asked for more.
Exactly. It's even bigger alpha. It's a good alpha that everyone needs to see right now. And those of you guys that are regular listeners, you know what it means. But hey, I'm happy to keep it for myself. So up to you.
I'm sure you are. Guys, it is a good reminder though. If you are here, if you're enjoying the content, I'm gonna have to take off here in a few minutes. I have an appointment that I have to get to. but Jackus and Tommy are here, and then Will and Tucker should be they should be joining very, very soon. But you really want Jackus to cook. Like when I hop off here, you really want him to cook. We have 270 people on YouTube alone. On X, we probably have triple that. Okay. If you guys are enjoying the content, do us a solid, help the channel out, help the show out, hit that like button. It really does wonders for our growth, guys. I promise we wouldn't nag you about it every day if it didn't make a big difference, but it really does make a huge difference. So please do us that solid. Hit that thumbs up button. It really just takes 1 second. You're already watching it. You just have to navigate over to the thumbs up button and just hit it for us. And again, if you're on X, you have this super secret special functionality that the YouTube crew doesn't have. You guys can hit the retweet button. The retweet button is like 5 likes in one. So if you're watching on Twitter and you're enjoying the content and you want to help spread the good word, help educate people, do us a solid, guys. Hit that heart button, but also hit that retweet button. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see what we got the likes to. 124. Pretty good, guys. Pretty good. Not bad. It's not 200, but I mean, that's really good. Thank you, guys.
They're pumping it quickly. They're hungry. You can feel it.
They're starving. They want their Michelin meal from Jackus. Chef
124 in 16 minutes. They're hungry.
They are hungry. They're probably going to get fed today. I have a feeling they're going to run the likes up pretty quick. They're going to get fed.
What was the take profit level too low?
It might have been, but once you set a TP, you have to honor it. You can't go move it. That's reckless trading.
Maybe we do partial profit.
Wait, who's saying I'm cheating in the comments? I'm not cheating. Max is cheating, dude. Do not cheat. Max is not cheating. I'm the anti-cheat. Okay. You should see my holdings right now. It would make most people literally sick to their stomachs. The volatility in my portfolio right now is, I will look back on this time of my life and just laugh, man, because it's not normal. It shouldn't be like this. The amount of stuff that I'm holding and refusing to take profits on because I'm stubborn about the criteria in which I take profits. I mean, you should see the dollar amounts that are moving up and down. I am not going anywhere, guys. I'm not. Don't you worry about it.
The boomer mind could not comprehend the amount of beta in Max's portfolio.
No, dude. Like, it's not normal. I'm almost concerned for myself. Like, why do I feel nothing? I should feel something. It's disgusting, man. Like, I mean, it's beautiful, right? Volatility is a great thing. Volatility is a beautiful thing. A lot of people, they shy away from volatility. They think that they think it's bad, for their portfolios. But ultimately, when you're investing in things that have an upward trajectory, and in my opinion, a lot of runway, volatility, you can't pay enough for volatility. I mean, the volatility in crypto, the stuff that I'm holding, the fact that I don't have to pay a premium for volatility is unbelievable, man. Like, you usually have to pay some type of premium for that. The premium I pay is the stress, the lack of sleep, the hair loss, whatever, from the stress I have to go through of holding this stuff. But this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to be a part of this young, growing asset class, and be a beneficiary of some of this volatility. It's truly incredible. So, yeah, I haven't cheated anything. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, anyways, all right, we got a full crew here. We got 147 likes. Jackus said he was going to cook on you guys at 200 likes. All right. Right now, there's 275 people on YouTube alone. There's probably double, triple that on X. Guys, run these likes up quick because I got to take off. The rest of the team has got you guys covered today. Maybe, Tucker, you could throw your chart up in the meantime until we get to 200 likes. But once we get to 200 likes, it's Jackus cook time because everybody's hungry today. It's a big day, big day. We got Jerome Powell speaking in a few hours. And then Thursday, Friday, we have US jobs data. So there's a lot to discuss. But anyways, I got to take off. Tucker, if you could throw your chart up there, brother, we'll get you set up.
Gotcha.
There was a question for you, Max. The super chat from Rami, a regular.
Oh, okay. Let's see it. Max, in my opinion, if you're assuming normal cycle, then saying Dom has almost topped, and we're starting alt season soon. The assumption is a left translated cycle in this case. True alt season wraps up the entire cycle. I would say yes and no, right? The assumption is that alt season will mark the end. And I believe that that's true, but it could still last another year, or year and a half. Like, we don't know, what if Bitcoin dominance is in a mechanical downtrend for the next 12 months, Bitcoin goes to 200K and alts just rip, like I think, yes, alt season might happen like sooner. And if we use the halving as sort of a beginning point, it's going to happen a little bit earlier than previous cycles if we use the halving as the beginning, but there's no saying how long it will last, right? We're going to look for clear bottom signals for Bitcoin dominance and things like that. But yeah, I mean, correct. Like, this would basically imply that we're more or less like halfway through our bull market for Bitcoin. But again, that
Bitcoin
doesn't.
does multiple altcoin seasons throughout its uptrend. Like, it is this is a thing that's always been the thing as long as time. I don't know what people mean by like altcoin season marks. Like Bitcoin in 2021, I think it had like 3 or 4 altcoin seasons before the market ended. So
Yeah, there will be
matches fell off.
waves of altcoin seasons. We had DeFi
There will be
summer.
sounds.
DeFi summer. You had May 2021, which was the biggest. You had summer, or not even summer. Fall 2021 as well, which was a bit smaller than spring of 2021. And then you had another alt season, which was really a lot shorter, but still an alt season in the very tail end of the spring in 2022. So,
Guys, the entire alt BTC market is green today. It's crazy.
Jack, did
I
you just
believe
take
it.
that picture this morning?
Yeah, we promised Jackie's face reveal, so we did so. The unbothered, moisturized, happy, flourishing in my online Jack that's me.
You see my face reveal?
Yeah. By the way, Remy, to your question, that's actually part of the alpha I'm gonna touch upon. All right. So, guys, where the TP is. And it seems we will not need to go to soybean chart today, which is going to be
I know.
Wow.
They're at 168 right now. If you guys can find 32 more likes in your back pocket, Jackus is going to cook some gnarly alpha for you.
Legit.
Look, all I'm saying is I lost to a broken clock. All right? If you know, you know. Bears have been screaming since 25K, since 16K. This is a fake rally. It's gonna roll over. It's a bear market rally. It's dead. It's cooked. Blah blah blah. And I lost to a broken clock at all-time highs. I am cooked, guys. I don't know if I should continue on. I don't know if life's worth living beyond this point. I mean, I just had steak and cod and some pork chops last night.
Well,
But
you had steak or you staked your shitcoins? I'm confused.
I mean, look, I got stuffed by some shit coins. I mean, I could still afford steak. I went to the gym. I mean, it's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible.
Bottoms in, man. Bottoms in. We're calling it here. We're calling it live.
We want agar.
We will never go. We will never
You want
go
the bongo.
there.
We want the bongo.
Oh, the bongo agger.
Yeah, the bongo agar. Guys, when we finished the market check yesterday, we had a special stream just between the crew here. We opened the agar and Tucker put in the bongo sound. Like the African bongo with the drums, and it sounded so
It was
fun.
nice. Yeah.
I didn't even know that Agar had that setting, to be honest with you, but it was nice for a few minutes, and then we're like, yeah, we should probably turn this off.
Yeah, I should have probably gotten some potatoes too, but I was like, that's a little bit too much carbs. But I will say this: like, if this thing reverses, awesome. If not, then we're gonna round out of this. That's what's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be a painful move back up, but it is what it is. Either this thing V-shaped recoveries gets back above 60. 60 is kind of like your cut position. If you can get above 60, I think realistically you can go back for the highs, and you're gonna stab and probably run for all time high, if not higher, aka price discovery. But if not, I'm looking at like maybe a cup and handle type play up here where we don't quite go much lower, but we just kind of bleed this range for like an extended period of time and roll sideways and come back out of it. I mean, that's kind of what you have right there. If you were to draw like a half circle at the bottom of that, Tucker, that's kind of a round out move. But I'm looking for this to be an accumulate and a true what you would call accumulation looking bottom, which would be more kind of like a round out of this range versus a V-shaped recovery. Unless we get above 60,
He
right?
does. He does deserve a shout out for this. He did call this. He did
I
call this.
mean, how many pi cycle tops have not played though?
No. It's not a pi cycle top. He just said that he thought the orange line was going to get hit, which it did a bunch in 2017. And I told him no, and he was indeed right, man. He was right. I'm like, look, pick your spot, right? Like this is it. This is kind of your line in the sand, honestly.
Yeah, the bull market's not over. If you think the bull market's over, somebody stuck your brain in a microwave. But
No, definitely not over. But
it's
this is like a gorgeous EMA to enter on, man, for sure.
yeah. I mean, price range, sure. We can be right, we can be wrong on that. But bull market's not over. Absolutely not. I
No.
think like here's a couple scenarios though that I'm kind of looking at. Um, we roll out of this thing runs 6 months and this Rangers will be absolutely atrocious. This is not what I wanted to see. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna sit up here in front or bullshit or anything like that. But like this for me, I think is gonna be a round bottom, which means it's gonna be painful out. Probably take some time, and then we'll get the real, Bitcoin when Bitcoin's supposed to be bull cycling. 6 months after the halving. So we'll see how it plays out. But that's my thoughts here. After we broke the low there, I can't sit here and talk shit. At this point, I got to come in and give real analysis here, and I think it's probably going to round out from here.
Bruv, even freaking
In a perfect world,
EOS is
I hope it does.
I'm okay with it. Like I'm not down at all. Like I mean I'm down on some of my profit, but I'm not down like depressed or anything like that. Even though I
Yeah,
sound a little like tired this morning, I'm perfectly okay with this. I have I have residual income that I can dial into this market with, and I think that a lot of people aren't looking at it from that perspective. They're looking at it from like go lower. Let's look for. Let's see. We already got people digging in for 50K. We already got people, and then what'll happen? What'll happen, Tommy? If we hit 50K, what are people going to be doing in the comments?
Oh man, 50K. If we hit 50K, man, the people are gonna be. It's gonna be a funny day in the
No,
comments.
but what do they do? Because first it's 58, right? Then it's 55. Then it's 50. What are they going to do when they hit 50?
They're probably not gonna buy anything.
They're not going to buy anything. They're going to look for lower. That's exactly what's going to happen. The same shit happened at 25K to 30K. The same shit happened from 40K when we ripped all the way up to see, there we go. There's zero. Yeah. Those,
Bottoms
those are the
in, man.
guys. Those are the guys that come in and say, lower, lower, lower. Never buy a fucking thing. Just sit there and talk. That's all they do. Don't
Bottoms
get me
in.
wrong. Like the bear is amusing. It's funny to being a bear, but we're not even close to that yet.
We are at
Tesla's
200 likes, boys.
We
Tommy, the
bumped it.
bottom is in, man.
They were starving.
Telling
They
you
are
right now.
starving.
In
all
just
right.
half an hour.
I'll let you cook, Jackets. You already got the 200.
All right, man. All right.
Jackets.
Chef Jaggers. Let me set up the board because I wasn't unprepared this quickly. They really wanted to G the soybean chart today, and they were hungry for different meal, not the soy today.
This is the first time we're not showing the soybeans chart on a market check stream, maybe all year. So think about that for a second.
They really are fed up with the soy, man. They wanted some real meat. They wanted some beef today, not the soys. Man, look, this is crazy. This is the alt BTC market. Look, it's all fucking green, like except maybe few, but like it's crazy. Anyways,
BTCD. Look at BTCD. It
I
freaking
know,
rolled,
man.
just like we
I
said.
know. Oh, who could have foreseen?
Oh man! Remember when
We
people were
were
saying, "Oh no, it's going to 60. It's going to
le
60."
legit yesterday. We were discussing this live. Yesterday, right here, we discussed it at the end, right? That was a special alpha meal too. We still need that impulse like down here, but if it comes, if you like break below here, I swear it's over for any Bitcoin maxi. Like below here, it's absolutely over. You probably get a bounce, but phew. Anyways, guys, I wanted to show you something, right? Because everyone is stressing right now. Let me actually make this screen. And let me go like this. And we will go over some alpha, guys. So let me set up the stage.
While he's setting that up, Tommy, what does OI look like right now? Open interest.
We shed probably like 500 million to a billion, but we really didn't shed that much. I'm going to be honest.
500 million, billion, 300
Trillion.
billion, 800 billion, trillion. Reminds me of your president at its peak.
Made me think about Austin Powers. It's very fitting your profile picture.
Anyways, guys, I am proud of you guys for hitting the like button so quickly today, because that was amazing. We are appreciating of the community that we have here. Amazing. Anyways, guys, let's get to the cook time. So I was saying so many times, probably like already around here, that this cycle probably like right here started to feel like that. And I was saying that this cycle is way more reminding me of 2015, 16, 17 one, or like, this whole area. And it was including that in 2014, we got a, Mt. Gox failure, the major exchange. This time it was FTX. So that was a great similarity as well. There was lots of forced liquidations down here, the Luna, 3AC, and Celsius, and a few others, Wager, and others. And then even if you look at the run up higher, it's way more similar. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's never the same, right? The cycles, they do repeat as they were repeating 100 years ago, but it's never the same. It's just the psychology around it. There will be minor differences, but all around, it's like when you see a forest, right? And usually the forests are very much alike, but they are never alike, right? Sometimes you have a little hill in between, sometimes you have some lakes inside, sometimes it's slightly bigger, sometimes slightly longer, so forth. But at the end of the day, it's the forest, right? And that's what you need to focus on. And too many people are looking at like one tree and saying, hey, it's totally different, but it's not. It's the forest. And listen, in 2007, so we had this run up higher, very healthy one, right? The bottom, you get the bottom accumulation, and it's not going to be the same as it was going forward as well. We still have to approach the market level by level. This is just some guideline And as long as it works, it's useful to have it work, but we still need to respect levels and so forth. But like here, you had the bottom accumulation. Here, you actually had 2 bottom accumulations, but you had the same here. In 2017, you had these 2, then you had these 2, right? Very, very important. Then you get the run up. It's different, right? Here, it was like longer accumulations, but then you had quicker run up to all-time highs. Here, you had the quicker accumulation slightly. Then you had the run up, the sell off, run up, sell off, run up, right? So instead of here, you only had 1 sell off, basically, and just run up to all-time highs. Here, you had 2 sell-offs. But then, we broke all-time highs, and was a decent size. It wasn't like a few dollar sweep. This was a decent break above it, right? The same thing here. And then what do you get? You get a pretty scary drop. Now let's look at how the daily drop is looking, right? If we zoom in. Right here, look at this. You get a clean bearish daily structure, right? I'm betting you lots of people back then, if Twitter was as active as it is today, lots of people back then would be screaming how it's so fucking over, we've broken below this low bearish structure. This was it, we just ran above new all-time highs, sell everything. What's going on today? It's legit the same sentiment. Lots of people are like, hey, this was it, this was the push, the recession is coming in, blah, blah, blah. But you need to pay respect to the structure. And yes, the daily is a problem, but problem. It's not a problem, but it's bearish right now. But even in a bull market, you can get a temporary bearish structure while the weekly remains the same. This goes the same as if like you can get a bearish H4 structure in a daily bullish one, right? And the hard time frame structure is the more important. So as you can see, we are getting a, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of like 5th leg, right? What happened here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th leg. Ooh, who could have foreseen? Now that doesn't mean that we cannot get like this, because we totally can. This is totally possible. But zooming out and seeing the forest, you should be seeing this, right? And if you zoom in on the weekly, you would realize that this bearish structure on the daily was still happening within this weekly structure, this bullish one, right? So any pullback here is totally fine. And I do expect a further continuation higher, just like here. And this was happening even in the prior cycle. If I were to jump in here, in this little one, actually, let me quickly do that, right? Here, people also were super bearish, and lots of highly respected accounts on Twitter that you see nowadays, not gonna name them, but they were super bearish the entire COVID time. Then with this breakout, they finally got a little bit bullish. Then with the breakout, they got bearish again, and then they missed the part. That's how it was back then. I was very much active. And here, you also kept having the bullish structure, right? Even though that within here, it was bearish, but it was happening within, the range. And this also does remind me of Ether in some ways right now. So anyways, going back to where we are now, you can still get this, and you would still just get a support retest, which I think is a great level down here alongside other confluences. But what I'm trying to say is that even in 2017, this was considered to be bearish, when in reality the trend, the hard time frame trend, remained to be unchallenged. And now I want to show you what happens with alts in that time.
Real quick,
Will, I
Tuck-
know what you're gonna
Tucker,
do.
sorry. Real quick, Jackets. I'm sorry.
He
I
has
just
to.
got
Just let him. I'm gonna. This is chill. Do it, Will. Go
all
ahead.
right, Mario. We're gonna invite you up the stage. Okay, we're gonna send you DM
The
me. I'll
audience
send
attack
you a
mode.
link,
Oh
and you
God.
show me how fucking retarded you are. All right, because somebody stuck your head in the microwave, turned it on, and somehow got it to activate while it was open. It's very interesting. You are so. Oh my god, dude! Like
Oh.
I can't imagine you made it past the 6th grade. I can't imagine that. You must pick up a lot of Snickers. But go ahead, Jackets. I'm done. I can't entertain that anymore.
It wouldn't be a proper stream without the will, the audience attacker.
He had to. He had to take one shot. That's all. That's all.
I'm only missing Snorlax, the VP of Max E's father at BB.
Mario has to be a female, bro. Like the dude is literally just sitting here. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to I have a feeling. I feel a certain way, guys. And this feeling, I'm telling you, it's all over.
Fellas, is it gay
Fellas.
to talk markets with the boys? I mean, that's basically what he's getting upset with us for, man. Like, we just genuinely enjoy talking about markets with each other on YouTube. If you don't enjoy that, then that is what it is, right? Like, we're gonna keep doing it.
Look, we get on here
Listen.
every day and simply tell you what we think about the market. And if we're not correct one day, then you're gonna cry about it. Like, I'm sorry, I can't. I can't help you, bro.
Everybody comes for your neck if you're wrong one time, which is
Oh my
okay.
God, you were
It's
wrong.
it's okay. Look, I'm okay with it. I have thick skin. But to sit here in the comment like I'm trying to save your sorry ass, come on, bro. Like go watch that, like freaking Cartoon Network or something. Like just I don't know what you're even doing here.
All right,
Anyways, guys,
let him go. Let him go. That's all we needed. That's all we
I'm
needed.
done. I'm done.
We're good.
I said what I said.
It had to be done. Go ahead, Jack.
to finish up, if we can agree that we are at a very similar, if not the same stage as we were, and again, you can clearly see that the structure was slightly different, but more or less it's the same. And what was happening back then? Well, here is Doge, right? And Doge was, this is Doge BTC, by the way. And you can see that Doge was bleeding against BTC this entire fucking time. All right, since this accumulation range, the whole time BTC was moving higher to all-time high. Doge BTC was bleeding. And this wasn't just Doge, it was the entire altcoin market. It just kept bleeding. And if it were translated to nowadays, every Bitcoin maxi would tell you how altcoins are worthless, and maybe they are. I'm here to play the cycles, right? What happened after, and you can imagine that right here, it was Bitcoin dominant season. It was peak, bearish sentiment for alts. They were never gonna do anything, and then what happens? The largest ICO bubble in history happened, and I'm not sure exactly how it happens this time. It's probably going to be like the regulatory clarity gets established, institutions start coming in. Who knows exactly what the trigger is going to be, right? But it's quite insane how same it is as it was in 2017. It probably won't be the magnitude of 2017. We'll see how it goes, right? But the thing is that alts have been bleeding this entire time since we were gunning higher, most of them on the alt BTC pairs. Now we got this sweep, we got this rejection. Let's see what happened, right? So you get the rejection, and then what happens? Alt BTC pairs refuse to go any lower during this dip, and then you see that they start to go up while BTC keeps going up too. And what's happening right now? BTC is dropping against on BTC is dropping against USD, but alt, as I showed you, alt are also being green today. And that's a lot telling, because in the past, whenever we got some breakdown in Bitcoin, alt shit the bed like 30-40%. right? And all I'm telling, as much as I'm anticipating all of this to happen, it's just anticipation, of course. Like nobody is 100% correct. Nobody can tell it, right? I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. What you do with that information is at the end up to you guys. But I think the probabilities are quite insane. And here you see that even though, and look at this, right? Even though Bitcoin was going up and even to new all-time highs, you can still see that Doge BTC was running all the way up until here. So if we were to translate it, right, to like, look, Bitcoin ran for 60 days and it went up, 140 something percent, but an alt even outperformed Bitcoin in that time. So let's say this time around, you will have Bitcoin bottoming somewhere here. It's going to go, whatever the percentage is, and altcoins could easily outperform it. Now, what happened then? This is Doge BTC, but let's see XRP or ETH. Let's use ETH. All right. Back then, you actually had 2 alt seasons, and this goes to Remy's super chat because he asked, like, if there is an alt season, isn't it like the cycle is entirely over? And I say, no. Look at that cycle, right? Because back then, you had lots of alts pumping, but then you had Bitcoin that continued its parabola. Alts kept bleeding back to where they kind of started, and then you had another round in alts, and this one really marked the bottom, or sorry, the top, right? And that was even at the time, as you can see, when Bitcoin made the top here, pushed back a lot, and this was like the last phase. So you had actually 2 big ones within this cycle, and this is very much possible, and I see this unfolding, where we're going to have. Go on, Tommy.
What?
You were gonna say something?
No, sorry if I might have accidentally made a noise with my computer.
I had something to add real quick to this. I mean, this is very much in the indication where we talked about the other day on the daily, where we were just starting to see deviations of altcoins versus Bitcoin. Once we got this low, and we were discussing that, and I think that those deviations have proven to be a strong indicator that alts were going to hold stronger through this downtrend than a lot of people anticipated. I would say too, alt strength in a downtrend on Bitcoin is actually very bullish in a lot of ways because it tells you that market participants are unwilling to just unload bags, and whales are unwilling to do the same. And market makers, while also de-risking, are not just completely dumping everything that they've got. Well, in maybe even the shitcoins that they're currently market making. So I'm continuing to play this. This is why I've been a heavy advocate since September of 2023 to be in alts. You haven't come back to those entries. You just haven't.
Yeah, here you had Doge doing absolutely nothing. Let's see what Doge doing today, though.
Tesla's done fairly well too, Jackus. I don't know if you've taken a look at that, but Tesla's been.
I know.
been
I'm in
bad.
Tesla. It's doing really amazing.
Wow. Soul BTC, boys. Soul BTC, Tommy specifically.
Oh, is it doing the say?
Soul BTC? No, it's up 3% today.
No, do you remember us talking about that?
Yeah.
Gonna scam back up.
No, brother. Bottoms
So,
in on Soul BTC.
Listen, as I said, right, this was Doge BTC back then, dropping the entire time as Bitcoin was going up. This is Doge BTC with little pump in between, kind of dropping this entire time as Bitcoin was going up, and then this happens. And I'm not saying like, hey, Doge just goes absolutely mental from here. Possible, maybe it's slightly postponed. We'll see. I'm just saying that there is a ticking time bomb on these alts, and yes, it's been promised for a long time. It's frustrating as hell, but the hard part is when you start to see it right here, and you never know if they're gonna pump it from here or here or here or here. And obviously everyone wants to buy here, and when they do, they think they're buying right here. But what happens mostly is that if you are lots of times seeing this, you buy like around this area, and then you have a trouble holding through all of this, and then lots of people buy here, they sell here, they give up because Bitcoin maxis are absolutely euphoric, and then this happens, right? So yeah, anyways, guys, that's the alpha from me. I do hope that you guys enjoyed it, because it was, in my opinion, it's the most important you needed to see right now as we have approached these times. If you did and you haven't pressed the like button, do it just yet, because that helps us to keep growing. And I rest my case.
Thank you, Chef. All right. What you got for us, Tucker?
Oh, not much, man. Not much. I mean, we wanted to see the soul strength, right? We wanted to see it. There you go. Soul strength. Oh yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah, but you still had a deviation though, right? That you had originally.
What are you talking about? This is Soul
On
Bitcoin.
Okay, got you. Yeah. So
But
yeah,
Soul USD, yeah, Soul USD. I mean, there's your
yeah, the
trend line.
USD, and then the Bitcoin beside it. I know we had that deviation I was playing there.
Come on,
But
deviation, bro. Come on. We need to reclaim like 140.
No, I'm talking about the higher low on Sol when Bitcoin was forming the lower low
Oh
on
yeah,
that small
yeah.
time frame. Yeah, that
Yeah.
deviation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that, worst case scenario, we could remain in these levels for a while. Best case scenario, we break out with a quickness. I'd say give it like maybe a month or two. I don't think selling may make sense to me. I think your sell's already been front run. I think that
Yeah, you should have sold in March if you were gonna sell, bro. Like, what?
You've been front run on your sell.
Yeah.
So I think like here it's either dial into the market or sit on bags and wait for this thing to kind of roll back out of here. I think it's going to be slow and methodical. I wouldn't get too excited though. If, even bulls, and I'm saying this as a bull, if Bitcoin ran back up to 60, it needs to get well over that to be able to really solidify a trend back above and recapturing. I could see a world though where it runs back to 60, everybody gets excited, and it creates a new range here between the current range of where we're at and 60. Just to get people to kind of bait it in, and then keep riding the range around. But it is stair step down here also. I'd like to add that too. And I think like if you're thinking about stair steps end a lot faster than elevators. So I think we're getting close to a bottom. Just like when Bitcoin was in the 20K range, we stair stepped down into 16. Everybody kept on saying deeper, 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 and it just never went deeper. It's reversed off of that position. So I think this holds for now. I don't think there's going to be a lot to really talk about here. It just sucks when your vol is going to just fall off, and now we're going to get like really low activity because most retail don't buy red, they buy green, so they're going to wait for this thing to reverse before you actually start seeing bids start to come back in, and it's going to be whales or market makers that are going to reverse this, be the bottom for you, and then you'll be the buyer on top of them.
Yeah, man. If we this is what I was mapping out the other day, right? If we need to find there it is. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
You got to
If
make
we come up here, man, if we come back up into there and show weakness, that's a hammer, man. That is a hammer for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, but then it just creates a range. So I don't think it's anything to be fearful of unless you're trying to buy the top of that. They're just going to be fearful.
Yeah. I think that's your short if you're looking for one.
Honestly, I think if you get a retest of range low, it's probably not I don't know if I would short it because how I feel about perfect retest, Tucker.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you reclaim, like, I'm just saying, like, if you come up here and like show weakness, right? If you're like, you're like swing failing like the bottom of this range at like 60K, like then I would expect you to put in a lower low probably, but it wouldn't have to be perfect either though, right? I mean, we could just like, God, why does it do that? It cancels my tool. You just do that, man. It won't be perfect. It won't be perfect, but yeah, I mean that's I think a better short than trying to like be like, oh, we lost a bunch of MAs. Like, let's just go down here. Like you're gonna get smoked, in my opinion. So yeah, that's your
We did
short.
just break down from value. So for me, it's like when you break from value, if you get a retest, I tend to think that you're gonna, re-enter value and probably continue ranging. If they really want to put the screws on bulls, I don't think you're gonna get much of a retest before the puke.
What puke?
And I
just
know
puked, brother. We just puked.
open interest is not puked, brother. I wish that weren't the case.
They're holding
It's puked
strong.
on alts. It's puked on alts and ETH, kinda, but Bitcoin open interest is, we really haven't moved, man. We're at the exact same OI level that we were at.
Pull it up. Pull it up. I want to see
I'll
it. Pull it up. I need to see the Coinalyze breakdown. I mean, yeah, that would be max pain though, right? As if we just continue to do this, right? That would not be good. But
I stole the screen from you. I pulled a me.
Yeah, you did. All right,
This is my concern right here, man. Is like OI has not moved at all, and we're down like 7K from the weekly highs. That's just not really much of a puke.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you do, I mean, we've broken it down before. Like altcoins have puked way harder. They puked way harder a few weeks ago.
So you think if we're gonna go lower, Bitcoin will just lead?
Probably, or ETH, because there's just more OI in these markets. Like Bitcoin still has 15 billion in global OI.
Mm-hmm.
ETH still has 7.5. Let's see, but things like Solana obviously got smoked on the drop a few weeks ago. You had the huge.
But that's the point, though. It got smoked, and I think not enough people are thinking about that. They're thinking that if Bitcoin pulls back, it's gonna smoke it again. It's gonna go like $75 or something like that. And I don't think that's a likely scenario whatsoever.
You could lose 100 though. You could lose 100.
I think people are now becoming greedy on the downside.
Yes.
But
yes. Thank you.
Few weeks ago, they were greedy on the upside. Now they want cheaper prices, and the price dropped a lot. We had the insane forced liquidations in the market, and now everyone's like, "No, we're going to buy way lower," and that's exactly the opposite. Like greed works on both sides.
Bull div, Tommy. Bull div on OI. You saw it.
Oh, I didn't, but
you're going too fast. Go back. Go back.
I'm going too fast.
I'll
back. Slow down.
You're going too fast. No, STX, brother.
I think if you're shooting for below Tucker, I'm just gonna say it. I think if you're shooting for below $100 on Solana, then Solana's not gonna be the chain this cycle. It's literally gonna take a backseat to something else.
By the way, we ran to 350 people live on YouTube. We appreciate the support, guys.
Heck yeah. It's like a Doge.
You know what would be the worst part about that? If Solana did do that and take a back seat, is that Frank D. Gods is moving all the collection back to Solana. So that would be the most worst thing ever.
Dude, he just needs to literally delete that collection.
Oh my God. Oh, the Utes and the D Gods wrecked again if that happens.
These gaps tend to fill, man. I can't believe we're actually filling this one. When we mapped this out on Market Check a few weeks ago, I was like, there's no way we come down there on Doge. And then it did.
Dude,
oh man.
Doge looks terrible.
Yeah, it does. It's BNBOI. I bet this has been pretty
I mean, you know how people were like, this is 2019 or whatever? Like maybe that's just looking at the Doge chart, right? Maybe that's real for like altcoins. Like you probably will get Doge to retrace a lot of that pump, but you're just gonna get Bitcoin to set a higher low and like either here like the low to mid 50s. And people are gonna I'm really just talking about knock it now. People are gonna be looking for like 40K and just get smoked.
There you
Like,
go. They're gonna get
Yeah.
fucking smoked. Is what's gonna happen. Jackets though. I do think I'm on the same side as Jackets. Like I think it's closer to 17 than it is to 19. I think people looking at 2020 is a cooked scenario. You didn't get that black swan. You're not getting the black swan. Are you getting a pullback? Sure, I'll give that, but that's not a. This isn't a black swan. Um, not to mention, the 2017 fractal. It lines up better. It absolutely lines up better. And time frame.
What you
Does
cooking up
leverage
here?
or Valhalla, boys? That's the question.
ETH BTC green, bro. What?
2%. Wow.
By the way, congratulations on the face reveal there, Jackus.
You like it?
Just wanted to congratulate you.
Thank you. I had to do it on a day like this.
Yeah, you got to do it on the worst days. You got to get them entertained.
You gotta
Yeah,
have the code Jones, as they say.
the whole thing, like, man. Now I'm starting to wonder like what kind of QE is gonna come into play because all this stuff happening going into the election year, this has got to get propped back up. All of it
Oh
does.
yeah, bro. Now
Now I'm thinking the QE is
they're
gonna be
gonna run it up.
crazy.
They're gonna run it up hard. I think I tweeted about this yesterday. People underestimate the Ponzi and the clowns who are running it, okay? Should not be underestimated, okay? Should not. They will do anything to keep the Ponzi going. All right, that's end of story. That's it.
Yeah, I know we're gonna get cuts. I'm wondering if they're gonna like do some type of QE in the cuts or some weird combination to keep cuts from doing anything to markets.
Yeah, man, they'll just end
This
up
looks
printing
like
a
a
bunch of
Christmas
money.
tree pattern, man. I love the Christmas tree patterns. Almost never play out. I can only remember one time when it did.
Tia.
I remember so many times it crypto it played out, but I do not think it's the case here for WIF though. I would love if it breaks those lows, but we'll see if it comes to that. It's more likely going to be a bouncing ball on the support, and then further up. Like like wait, I think Phantom did it at the bottom and few others.
Ooh, Matt
Yeah.
Kobe said, "Look at Dot, man. I do like Dot. Is that thing crushed?
Probably.
Oh, I bet it's crushed. I want to see that."
I was looking through these old 2021 charts, and I couldn't believe how large the open interest on DOT was back in 2021. It was almost like $1 billion, I think. Yeah,
There is
like it was
there
low-key devastating.
there is actually, I want to touch upon this. So Crim's saying you all look young. I'm 43 and I respect your views at such a young age. So first of all, we do appreciate that. We are in our 30s, around that, depending on who. But yeah, I would say, man, like I want to touch more on that with the regards of that. I believe that this age is breeding new generation of investors, especially for what is happening within the fiat world right now. It's legit forcing people to become investors nowadays, especially what happened during and after COVID. So like even people that did not want to speculate or like be involved in financial markets, they are. They are forced to. People that didn't want to, they are forced to protect against inflation, right? And I believe this breeds a new generation of investors for the new age, and I believe some smart ones lots of smart ones has already come out. Like if you look at around Twitter, you see lots of smart people out there, and I do hope that we kind of fit into that category too, and we will keep on evolving to the good way. But I think, the way we look at people like Buffett and Charlie Munger, lots of these people are in their pension basically. But I think that again, this generation will breed the new people. Anyways,
I think that happens with every major event, though, right? Like 2008 bred a new generation of investors. 2020 pandemic bred a new generation of investors, and I
yeah,
think that'll continue to be the story moving forward. It'll always be that decade event that creates new investors.
and new community members.
Hmm.
I
New
also
exit
think
liquidity.
the increase in how easy it is to access financial markets, like phones, just make it so much
Indeed.
easier than it was in the past. It's much easier for young people, if they want to be involved in financial markets, to participate. And yeah, the barriers of entry are even smaller now than I feel like they ever have been. Right, like Robinhood, you can
Yeah.
just, I mean, they have and they are playing on that too, right? They've gamified finance essentially, or at least gamified trading stocks, which make
Zero
it
day
fun,
DTE, baby.
you know.
0 day DTE.
Chad comment.
What do you mean, Tucker?
It's a nice comment.
I mean, we have just, yeah, it is, but we have just explained it.
True.
But yeah, let's do it again. Listen, nice comment.
Nice comment. Sorry, I was just drawing boxes, trying to reassure
I
myself
getcha.
that the bottom was in.
It was just funny because I just talked about that comment for the past 5 minutes, and then you're like, "Hey, this is a nice
Dude,
comment."
I knew
I'm
you were
like,
talking about something. I didn't know what it was. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was drawing boxes on the chart.
I feel you. It happens to be sometimes as well.
Well, really, my point there was that the bottom is in. So
Let's go.
Tucker? What does the AVAX market cap chart look like? I'm curious.
Dude, what? Why?
Because it made all-time highs on open interest and didn't even get close to doing it on price.
Well, keep in mind. Hold on, I do have a use case discussion for AVAX. I found one.
You found one?
I found one.
Wait, what
All
did
right.
you want?
Yeah,
I
you go
just
do your
wanted to
thing
see
and I'll
market
tell you.
cap because we made all-time highs on OI with AVAX.
Well, look at the market
would
cap
never have
chart,
expected
bro.
if you're just looking at the price.
So what are you saying here?
No, I was just curious if it would be like higher than price.
If it would be not looking
I mean, market cap's performing better than price for AVAX. That's what I wanted to know.
Is it actually? Hang on.
This legit looks like Burj Khalifa pattern.
Let me know when you're ready to hear the use case for AVAX.
Go ahead. Tell us.
All right. Outside of toilet paper, okay. Outside of that, the use case for AVAX I found is Stars Arena. Now, some of you may be like, "Oh, that's a dead thing." Blah blah blah. They're actually got a new owner, and this is big. This is big. The new owner somehow got Stripe to get on board with him for buying AVAX to be able to use on Stars Arena through Stripe. That's actually massive, man. Like anybody who can get a partnership or work with directly with Stripe is big in crypto. That's a crazy move in my opinion. And
Yeah.
with them being on the mother chain of AVAX, I think that only brings a ton of value to AVAX. And
The
it says a
mother
lot,
chain.
right?
I mean, they would still I'm fan, but they would still somehow have to make it work. Like the last time, I was really looking forward to have a working social media. Sorry, the fuck the
Social fi.
social
Social fi.
yeah, social fi. Sorry. um I was really looking forward to have that one working, and I like the idea. It was actually one of very crypto projects that I liked for a actually use case, but it kind of died out alongside Frentech, and I'm not sure what it will need for that
Well,
to actually work. Like I
I will.
feel like back then they had it, they just didn't do anything. Like they had the hype, they had the people coming in, but they did not fix any issues. They did not do anything. I don't get it if it was like too hard to implement, or they just had enough money, so they were like whatever.
Well, that's what I was saying. So the old owner of the project left after they pretty much run it to the ground, and then they sold it to the new owner. The new owner's been actually building it out, adding a lot of features. Like that's the new owner is the one who got the Stripe partnership. So
Yeah,
it has changed. I would say, like, if you're interested in it, go check it out again. The Jackets. I'm
yeah.
gonna
I
try
mean,
it out. I didn't try it out before.
I still like that. I just feel like, and I mean the partnership is great and all that. And as you say, it would definitely bring a use case to hold AVAX. Just like what it would bring is essentially the run up we had in Sol, because everyone was buying Sol to speculate on the degen meme coins on the chain, right? So I would agree, but they would have to actually make it work. Like you would have to actually bring people again, and it's hard. Like once you lose the trust, the confidence from people, it takes way more effort to get them back, right? So if they achieve it, then sure, that's great. But my question is, how are they going to achieve it, right?
I mean, after what Lucas did with Pudgy Penguins, bro, I don't doubt that when new owners step in, they have real intention to run these things in a good
Hopefully.
fashion.
Like I'm a fan. If it happens, I'm all up for it. Because I think social fi is needed, even if in a regard to make Elon make Twitter decent, because right now it's a shithole with very bad incentive structure, right? So if SocialFi would be a working thing, then he would need to, and even if it wouldn't work in the end, it would at least put a pressure on Elon to make adjustments to Twitter.
You guys know the rule of thumb with trading AVAX, right?
What do you mean?
I always joke about it. It's like such an insider token that they will leak their announcements always to private channels or whatever before it happens. So the announcement always gets baked into price, and so every single AVAX announcement is usually sell the news, and that's been working for like 2 years. Oh, feature not a bug. Feature not a bug. You just got to know. You just got to know when the insider flow is going to come, of course, and react accordingly. But yeah, I like to joke that I mean, Hasaka tweets about it all the time, right? Like you can see the news baked into price before it even gets there in crypto, because most announcements are fortunately insider based. So at least with these exchange shitcoins, that's how it goes.
Yeah, but I think that's everybody, bro. Like, no chain out there that's not insider based. And same thing with stocks. I think like stocks are the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I agree. It's just funny how mechanical it is with AVAX. Like sell the news is not a meme when it comes to AVAX.
No, it's not. Dude, we're gonna run these shorts in a minute, bro. I swear to God. I swear to God.
I mean, Tommy, it's not a meme with most things, Sell the news, because it's as I said on Discord. Actually, I do not want to touch it. I'm gonna keep it to the ED Discord members. It's alpha, but it is as you said.
Looks like a bouncing ball a little bit, Tucker. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Just gonna base out of
The
here a little
more
bit.
the more technical term, I guess, for the bouncing ball that we like to say is euthanasia roller coaster.
You just gotta get above here, man.
Oh yeah.
Big squeeze if we can get above there.
A huge
Yeah.
squeeze. Yeah, huge squeeze.
I do think if you are going to retest the range, you're probably going to re-accept back into it, and that's a rotation back to the highs. If at least, if not the highs, then at least the point of control you often see. So I think if they're going to put the, turn the screw on bulls here a little bit more, they're probably just going to do it from here.
I mean, it's either here or it's like 52K, so that's really it. I mean, I would feel nothing, honestly. I would feel nothing. If we went down there, I wouldn't. It doesn't look that far on the chart, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I'd feel nothing. 7%. Fine.
I think
bro.
zooming out when we get closer to the top of the market, when we look at this area, we're like, why were we even looking at that?
Yeah, but it's always about the moment, right? And in that moment, everyone's stressing it out.
I mean, if you think we're in a bull market, you should just be bidding. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
It's a discount, bro.
This line.
It's literally a discount.
You should be bidding this line.
All right, boys. I think that's a good spot to be wrapping it up. We have cooked a lot of Altcoin guys today, been running for about an hour and 15 minutes. So thank you guys. If you have been tuned in for the entire show, we hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, quite a bit of volatility happening in these markets right now. But I mean, look, guys, it's like Tucker said, I feel nothing. We love this game, and not just being in markets, but also being able to just talk about them on YouTube and have you guys tune in. So thank you guys once again for being here. So some housekeeping items before we officially wrap up, guys. A reminder that we did just launch the BB Academy. You can get tidbits and little bits from educational bits, that is, from each of us on the team. As you guys can probably see, we all have kind of our own individual niches that we like to approach the market from. So if that is something that interests you, we have a link in the description of this YouTube video, as well as through our Twitter and through our Discord. So make sure to check that out if that is something that it interests you. But to touch on our programming, guys, Market Check, of course, as always, will return tomorrow morning. If you're a regular, you already know the time. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is typically when we get started. As you guys can see, we talk markets. Sometimes we even attack the audience a little bit. We talk technicals. We always love cooking for you guys and just talking about markets. So of course, as well, we also have our flagship show, Market Talk. That is a Twitter space hosted by the legendary King Wabi. It always takes on a flavor, very determinant on who our guests are, of course, on that space. So can talk meme coins some days, can talk macro other days, really whatever is most relevant happening in the market. So make sure to check that out. Wabi does a great job hosting that show. But that's it from us, guys. That is it from us. The timing of Market Talk, by the way, does vary a little bit. So just stay subscribed to our Twitter to be notified when they go live. And of course, when we schedule those spaces. But now that is it for us, guys. Giga Chads, we will see you this afternoon for the afternoon call. And if you're a Market Check enjoyer, we will see you bright and early once again at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. But thanks again, guys. You'll have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week.
Man, we're about to squeeze, bro. We're about to squeeze. All right, that's it, though, boys. That's it.
Mario.
Unbothered, moisturized, happy, flourishing in my own way.